The most dangerous thing you can do in retirement is assume everything's going to fall into place. You may be wondering, what are some of the mistakes that you should avoid? And we're going to drop 13 of them for you today.
And we were guilty of many of these mistakes. We've been at this for 5 years. And not only did we make mistakes, but many of our subscribers have as well. So stay tuned as we give you the 13 mistakes to avoid so it doesn't ruin your retirement.
And if you don't actively avoid these mistakes, you could end up spending your retirement facing regret and hardship instead of the joy that you've earned.
So we hear from people, yeah, but I've saved enough. Isn't that enough to enjoy retirement? It's a big part of it. If you're in a position where you're financially secure, that's a big first step. And we're going to talk about some of the finance issues here. But it's not just that. There are so many other things that you can do wrong and make this mistake to send your retirement over the cliff.
Into a tailspin,
Into
for
a
sure.
tailspin. That's what I was trying to come up with.
You know, we also hear retirement is supposed to be relaxing. I don't want to overthink it. I don't want to plan it. I don't want to ... You fill in the blank. But here's the thing. You're going to have to do some planning and have some sort of vision, or you're going to make these mistakes. You know, when we first retired, we made a bunch of mistakes, assuming everything was going to fall into place. You know, friends were going to magically appear and they were also going to be retired. Vacations were going to be easy. Travel was going to be fun. You know, we didn't have to work out. We could eat and drink and be merry all the time.
And we did that the year leading up to retirement. So we actually got a running start. And then once we retired in December of 2018, our world just fell apart. I mean, we really were in a bad way and had to do a major pivot. And we're going to share with you today some of the pitfalls that are going to come your way or have come your way and how to dig out of them. Because I think that's part of it, is not just recognizing the mistake you can make, but what are you going to do to fix it?
Right. You know, we've seen people make mistakes that hurt them financially, emotionally, relationship-wise, and also cause them just flat out physical stress. And you need to know it doesn't have to be that way. So learn from these pitfalls today and make your change.
So before we go any further, down below there's a link to our 1-year retirement checklist. Download that now. You're going to love this document, and it really goes side by side with this video today. So the first thing, the pitfall or the mistake that you can make when you retire is not having a clear retirement budget. And when I say that, I mean really having an understanding of your assets, your income, and your expenses. Because if you don't have that, all of a sudden now you're wondering where all the money is going, and you might underestimate how much money you'll need or overestimate.
Yeah, I mean, retirement isn't the time to leave your finances to chance. You know, inflation can erode some of your purchasing power. You know, healthcare and unforeseen costs can surprise you. You need to calculate a budget that includes essential and discretionary spending. And that's important to do. That's not something we started out doing.
No, and we're a big fan of spending time with your accountant and having a financial planner. A lot of people say financial planner is too expensive. I will tell you it's too expensive not to have one. Even the smallest amount of assets, if you've got someone looking over your shoulder with the market the way it is and even your spending habits, someone to help you second guess some of the things you want to do, whether it's downsize or buy a vacation home. Having this other person in your back pocket is really, really important.
All right. The second thing is, are you depending too much on Social Security? You know, Social Security may not cover as much as you expect. Payments are often lower than anticipated, and delaying your benefits can result in higher payouts. So it's essential to pick your timing on Social Security.
Yeah, you need some help with that because, you know, we're not financial experts, but there is a big difference in taking it at 60, 62, 65, 70. So it's really understanding the right time to do it. But the other piece of this is if you're relying 100% on Social Security, it may or may not be enough. And we're big fans of doing something in retirement that generates a little extra income, gives you a reason to get up in the morning, gives you a purpose and a way that you can possibly serve others like we're doing with this channel, to help other people with something in their life that you've got a skill with that they would really appreciate.
Absolutely, absolutely. Or even supplementing with savings or investments and really getting your mind around that you are no longer accumulating wealth, but you are de-accumulating wealth. And
Right.
that's a big step, I think, in the mindset shift.
The third mistake that you can make in your retirement that will send you into a spiral is failing to stay active and engaged. You know, we thought retirement was all about relaxing, traveling, having a great time every single day and night, and that's part of it. But you also have to stay active, and I think that's where we ran into trouble and actually had health issues because of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Inactivity can definitely lead to health issues. We all know that conceptually, but retirement, that kind of hits you right in the face. You need to find hobbies and activities that keep you physically and mentally engaged. Daily exercise will definitely improve your longevity.
As we've done this for 5 years now, our core, and we just filmed a couple more videos about this, our core number one thing for us is to focus on our health. And that begins with early morning exercise 5 days a week. Sometimes 7, sometimes 3.
Right.
But we plan 5 days a week to go to the gym and exercise. We get up, we walk Ruby for 2 miles, we come back, and we go to the gym and we work out hard. That has made a huge difference in a couple of things. Number one, our health. Number 2, building muscle. And number 3, we've built community at these gyms with other people our age that are looking to do the same thing. So don't make this mistake of failing to stay active and engaged.
All right, the next one, again, we're not professionals in this area, but a mistake would be not planning for healthcare costs. Medical expenses rise in retirement and as we age, and many of us underestimate the costs. Medicare doesn't cover everything. Long-term care insurance is essential for some people, and we're fans of long-term care. We used it for your parents when they retired.
And we have it.
Prescription drugs costs are kind of all over the map right now, depending on your plan and where you go and what type of prescription you're looking for. So you need to have a plan for these out-of-pocket expenses.
Yeah. So have some sort of emergency fund, which leads us into the next one. Number 5 is the mistake of underestimating the cost of long-term care. Now, you might be fortunate that you've got a multifamily house or you've got an in-law house where kids can move in and they can take care of you because that's the most cost-effective way. There are problems with that as well because you need nursing care to come in, so it's a trade-off. But you really have to understand that long-term care in an assisted living facility, it can be
Expensive.
$100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a year. So you really need to understand what that risk is. And if you're young enough, buy long-term care insurance, but you need to know that that's coming down the road. And just not planning on it is the big problem.
Well, you're talking about private care too. Like my dad was in a state-run facility in
Right.
Pennsylvania, which wasn't $100,000, $300,000 a year.
Right.
So there are state-run facilities, but they come with their thorns as well. Some of them are great. Some of them come with thorns. So, consider staying in shape the best you can back to that active lifestyle to reduce your long-term care
Right.
costs.
Right.
Okay, the next mistake, and we made this, and a lot of people on our channel talk to us about it. A mistake would be not downsizing or not simplifying. So immediately when I say not downsizing, my sister-in-law comes to mind because she's like, I'm never downsizing this house. So my question to her always is, well, can you simplify it? Can you simplify the house so that your large home and your many, many possessions don't become burdensome? Downsizing can free up some cash and reduce some maintenance costs. We're in the process of doing that now with our home in Connecticut and trying to find another home that's smaller, definitely, but also has some reduced maintenance costs.
Well,
for
I
us.
think it's and we've done quite a few videos on downsizing and decluttering. So just search our channel for those, and they'll pop up, especially if you're new here. But less clutter around equals more mental peace.
Right.
It simplifies your finances, which can help manage your stress. And you might want to think about moving to a location that better suits your retirement lifestyle.
Absolutely.
We're down in Florida because we like being outside and being active, and that has working for us, even though there's hurricanes that seem to keep passing over our house. So
All right, the seventh one.
the 7th one, and this, people maybe just don't pay attention to this, but the seventh mistake that you can make as a retiree is neglecting your mental health. Do you know that the highest group of people in the United States that commit successful or completed suicides are men over the age of 65? Being lonely, chronic loneliness is described as being lonely every day for 2 weeks, and that's worse than smoking 15 cigarettes a day. So really focusing on your mental health. Physical health seems to make sense to everybody, but meditation, journaling, staying connected to people is really important.
Absolutely. Practicing mindfulness and meditation can definitely help you reduce your stress. And don't hesitate to seek professional help if needed, right? Creating daily routines that include mental and emotional self-care are very important at this stage of life. Okay, the next one. This one could be deadly, and we have some friends that have done this, and we walk the line to try not to do this, but overcommitting to family obligations is a huge mistake in retirement. Helping family is important, but don't let it consume your entire retirement unless that's your choice. And a lot of our friends, that is their choice. They want to be caregivers. They want to be caregivers to their elderly and caregivers to grandchildren. They put themselves right in the middle and they flourish and they love it. Make sure it's for you. Set boundaries for your ability to help your adult children financially, emotionally, or certainly with some of their tasks.
I think the big piece here, because we have 6 children who are either married or in relationships, 2 grandchildren. So like for Christmas this year, we're having all 6 kids and their partners and 2 grandkids. So that's 12, 13, 14, 16 of us. We have rented a couple Airbnbs because we don't have a huge house down there. But that's a lot of work for Jody and I for a whole week. And we've decided that we're taking the month of January off for Mark and Jody month. We really are going to ask our kids, if you want to come and you need to come, that's great. But we would love to have a month just to ourselves to kind of recharge our batteries.
Well,
and
I
think
to get into our routine in Florida, because we'll be transitioning, and then it's the holidays right away. So it's just a balance of helping others and protecting ourselves and our future and our own well-being.
And make sure you take care of yourself. I think that's the important thing. Okay.
All right. So the next one, not preparing for changes in your relationship with your spouse, partner, or significant other. Spending more time together in retirement can put a strain on relationships and your marriage. So it's important to set clear expectations of your partner, have open discussions about how you'll spend your day and how you'll spend your time, and respect each other's need for individuality and hobbies with their own space. We didn't do that great in the beginning. I think we've found a bit of a balance.
I think we could be marriage counselors now.
No.
No? Okay. The divorce rate in America is down, but the divorce rate, what they call gray divorce, people over the age of 55 or 60, is up dramatically from 5 or 10 years ago. All of a sudden now you're spending all of this time together. That's going to be new. And trying to figure that out can be difficult. So that's a huge change in your relationship, in your home, cooking, cleaning, shopping, who's in charge of what, us not stepping on each other's toes, but still growing our relationship. We're actually growing closer together now that we're retired than before, because we're going about it, we're learning from our mistakes.
Absolutely.
Not staying socially active. Again, you don't want to be lonely. You don't want to find yourself with no friends. The biggest mistake you can make, like Jody said earlier, is leaving your career, entering retirement. Your friends don't come with you.
Right.
Your work friends don't come with you. So you've really got to work hard at being socially active. Join a club, join a gym, reach out to old high school friends, build new relationships, explore hobbies that involve others like cycling or pickleball or volunteering.
Or travel. We recently did a big trip to Africa with, a bunch of people we didn't know. It was kind of our first group travel, and hopefully we'll do a video on it because it was really amazing. But, engaging in travel or even community service while you're traveling, is something that's really good to make those connections. Okay, the next one is failing to reassess your investments. Retirement calls for different investment strategies than your working years had for you. So it's important for you to review your portfolio and assess your risk tolerance. I know we have that conversation with Vince, our financial planner, every year. What is our risk tolerance? What do we have on our plate? How are we feeling? Shifting to a more conservative investment as you age may be something you're more comfortable with. I just had a conversation with my pop who's 77, and he's actually asked his guy to go a little more aggressive on a few of his investments, which I was surprised about, but he was very confident in his reasonings as to why to do that. So the point here is really to review the portfolio and assess your own risk tolerance with your investments.
Yeah, and we're big fans of financial planners, and a lot of people on our channel will leave a comment, isn't that really expensive? My answer is, it's more expensive to not have one. I have so many friends that made investment decisions based upon their own personal gut and not really on the right kind of information, and sold when they should have stayed and bought when they should have waited, and then all of a sudden your assets go down the tube. So you have to be really careful with that. The 12th thing that can go wrong with your retirement is not spending any time thinking about your legacy or estate planning. Now, no matter what your assets are worth, what is your legacy? What will people say about you or think about you once you're gone? And what are you doing about divesting yourself of your assets? I mean, if you don't have a will in most states, then the state comes in and decides where your money's going to go and who gets it.
Yeah, discuss your legacy and inheritance plans with your family. Plan your charitable giving, if that's a goal of yours. And again, meet with someone who can help you plan your estate to solidify your legacy plans. I think that provides not only good kind of financial roadmap, but it also helps with your mindset.
Yeah.
Just to get it out of your head onto paper. Okay, number 13, not building a daily routine. If you've been on this channel for a while, we're big fans of a daily routine. Lack of structure in retirement can lead to a loss of purpose and motivation. We've seen it happen. Create a daily and weekly routine that helps you stay active and engaged.
And I would ask you that if you're watching this video and you haven't really heard us talk a lot about like a day in the life of a retiree, that's a video we're thinking about doing, and we're happy to do that, or to go deep on our daily routine, because I'm telling you, a day doesn't go by that we don't get up in the morning and plan our day. We know what we're doing all day today, including the fun stuff, because we plan shooting video, creating video, pickleball, golf, walking Ruby, dinner with friends. It all happens, and our life is full because we have a daily routine, which is really important.
It's also interesting as our kids grow. So our youngest two are 26 and our oldest is 39. Am I right?
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, Markham's 39.
Jeez. That sounds weird to say he's 39, but it's fun to watch them kind of grab onto this idea of planning and a daily routine.
Yep.
Really helps them in their career as well.
We hope you like this video. This next one is called Want to Ruin Your Retirement Plans? Check out these simple retirement mistakes. We're going to go a little bit deeper and talk about some of the mistakes you can make and how to rectify that as you move through your retirement. So watch this one next.